hello there, friend. Thanks for stopping by. As with all our installs, the very first step, of course, is going to be to find those instructions and then crumple them up and throw them away. Just kidding. Don't do that. It's super important to follow the instructions closely. Follow them closely every time, all the time. Okay, so here I am. I'm going to be installing a Duprin Electric locking trim. This is the E996L series. And this is for a rim device, and here I am unpacking it. Unfortunately, straight out of the box, this had a cut wire. The wire going to the little wiring harness thing. It was cut, so to get the customer up and running for the day, I went ahead and spliced that for him. But yeah, that's not supposed to be like that out of the box. These all ship in the fail-safe configuration, meaning they're always unlocked without electricity. So most applications are going to be fail-secure, so this is swapping it over to the fail-secure function. Here I'm removing the lower two mounting studs, and then I'm going to be loosening the upper two mounting studs. That's going to allow me to lift the slider assembly up and then remove the blocking mechanism at the bottom. So I'll be able to take that all the way out of the door. There, or out of the trim. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so and then to change it from fail-safe to fail-secure, you just flip the solenoid around to the other side. I'm struggling here a little bit because I'm using the wrong size hex wrench, and then once I figure out I'm using the wrong size, it gets a lot easier. Now, I was told these all ship in the fail-safe configuration. Let's see, why don't you try the right size there, guy? Yeah, there you go, you got it. Excelente. Good job. I was told these all ship in the fail-safe configuration because that's the only way they fit in the box. Because to fit in the box, the handle has to be turned, and if it's fail-secure, the handle don't turn. So, all right. So here I'm gonna flipping that solenoid over the other way. And the important part here is to make sure you get your wires routed the right way, because you don't want the wires can interfere with that slider going back and forth. So there's a little notch there and there's a little notch there, and you just flip those over, or you make sure the wire's in those notches. And here I'm going to put the screws back in that hold the solenoid to the blocking mechanism. And then that's going to pop back into the trim, and you're going to put those mounting studs back in, and that's what holds it all together. I think I'm using the right one still. Good job. But yeah, I mean, most of our installs would be fail-secure function is what's wanted. That would mean it's locked all the time and requires electricity to unlock. But there are some applications where fail-safe is what they want, like fire stairwells, stuff like that. So now I'm reinstalling the lower mounting studs, and hopefully remember to tighten the top two back again that I had loosened earlier. Yep, there you go. Good job. And then we'll be installing the rim cylinder that I removed from the old trim that we were replacing. I'm just testing it, making sure that slider's going back and forth very smoothly, and that the handle's unlocking and relocking. So installing the rim cylinder. Now with these, the biggest problem I have with these trims usually is that the threads inside the mounting studs sometimes are all gunked up. And I'll install it, I'll get 3 screws in, they're all good, and then I'll go to put the last screw in, and it's trying to cross thread, or there's metal shavings inside where the threads are. And so just preemptively, almost all the time, you could run a screw in and make sure the screw, it's clear, but I have just a 1024 tap on my drill, and I just make sure those threads are good. You you can tell with your tap when it runs in if it's a good thing you did and that you're clearing things up. So now I'm going to open my screw pack from the clear side, dump it out. No screws left behind. No screws left behind. Yeah, I'm kind of a silly guy that way. But you know, some of those packs have little tiny screws. You know, you don't want to leave a screw behind, throw it away. So always open from the clear side, make sure I empty that thing out. All right, then we pop it back in, and I feed the little harness through the hole there. And this I'm just using a hand screwdriver because you can use a panic here, but man, those threads are kind of soft. I just feel like the screwdriver's a much safer way to install those. Yeah, so we installed 4 screws, and that's it. Then we tested it; it was all good. Customer was happy, and yeah, once you click that connection, then it says you can shove the wires back inside the door. I like to leave them there where I can see them and see that they're not getting in the way of any of the moving parts. So anyway, if you enjoyed this video or got any benefit out of it, please like it and tell a friend, share it with someone. If you see any tips or tricks you could share with me to help my installs get better, please let me know. And if I just got something completely wrong, please let me know so I can fix it. All right. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.